I figured it out, Cutler. There's a way for us to grill without all the mess of charcoal and all the pain in the butt of propane.
Did that just come to you?
The FlameDisk.
You're gonna open it this time?
This time,
see if you.
I'm opening it.
Oh, see, God, I would hate to be around you at Christmas time.
Matches.
You just fling everything everywhere.
We're gonna grill here.
You're usually so much more OCD about mess.
Ah! FlameDisk, hot when lit.
All right, now the true test.
Grilling.
The true test of any flame type producing thing is the s'more or the marshmallow.
You gonna use your lighter, or should I use the FlameDisk matches?
Well, those are official FlameDisk matches that come with the FlameDisk itself. Here, I'll get you a marshmallow ready.
Whoa, she's lit. That was easy. We're here to talk, of course, not just about the incredible FlameDisk, but also about Pocono, where we're headed this weekend for the Gillette Fusion Pro Glide, an amazing razor, another one of our sponsors.
Do you like to get your marshmallow like on fire?
No, I like to just slowly brown it.
Okay.
What is your key to this 500 miler at Pocono there?
Well, if you think about this race, right, you've got such a long front stretch and you're going to get fairly decent head of steam going, but then you got to whoa way down when you get to turn number one. Now that's going to take its toll on your brakes. Certainly not to the extent that Martinsville affects brakes, but think about all of that all day, brakes and engine. They're going to be...
Jeff Gordon lost a brake rotor there and won, as I recall, a couple years ago.
And it's also going to be hard on your engine, to be honest. So you want to set up with a little bit of stamina. You want to set up with that knowledge in mind. And you also want to protect your brakes a little bit throughout the course of the day.
You know, the front stretch, thinking about that, the longest patch of straight asphalt on the circuit, thing I think about too is that makes this race a horsepower race, because the guy's got a horsepower advantage, and there aren't huge advantages, I don't think, in NASCAR these days on the horsepower side. But the advantage a guy will have should show up on the Pocono front stretch. But the key to me, Cutler, getting to the front stretch, and to do that you have to master turn 3. You know, this racetrack has 3 different corners. They're all different lengths. They're all different banking. So you can't really be set up perfectly for any one of them. So you have to sort of decide where you want to be the best. I think turn 3 is probably the key to that, because it's when you leave turn 3 that you get onto that long stretch, that long Pocono front stretch where you can really make up some time. The guys that run it best will get in there easy and get back to the gas sooner than the guys who get in there harder and have to wait to get back to the gas. The sooner you get back to the gas, the longer, in a sense, the front stretch becomes. So I think that is really the key to running well at Pocono.
I like focusing on turn 3 as well. Barry Dodson will tell you to focus on turn 2 because it's sort of the medium type turn. It's got attributes of both. So if you set up good for turn 2, you're not going to be lousy in 1 or lousy in 3. But it just makes more sense to me to really focus on turn 3 to get a good run going on that front stretch.
Let's talk about drivers, because the name that jumps out at you is a guy that maybe is good in 3, but also tends to be pretty good in the other 2 turns, and that's Denny Hamlin, the 11 car.
Yeah, he swept this track famously as a rookie, and he won again last fall, didn't he?
I believe so.
And you just can't talk Pocono without talking Denny Hamlin. I think he's clearly your favorite. But
he's the only guy with a finishing average inside the top 10. Averages a 9.5.
I think doesn't Jimmy have a finishing average inside the top 10?
I don't think he does, Cutler.
Well, if not...
It may depend on how many races you count.
If not, he's really close. Jimmy Johnson, of course, is a guy who's really good here. Jeff Gordon has won here 4 times. Tony Stewart won this race last year.
Kurt Busch has been dominant here within the last few races. I remember in the 2 car we saw him dominate quite a bit.
It was 2007, and I remember...
And he's on a roll.
Because it's the same race where I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. had enough time to change his shock without going a lap down.
Right.
But in that 2007 Kurt Busch victory, he led 175 out of 200 laps. And come on, who's got more of a roll going than Kurt Busch?
Keep one eye, I think, maybe just one eye on the 42 car in Juan Pablo Montoya. I just think back to Indy and how he did on the flat corners of Indy. And I wonder if that might translate at least a little bit to Pocono. That guy could use some luck, for sure.
Juan Pablo Montoya.
Absolutely.
And you got to think he's going to be going all out because he really can't afford to points race at this point. So who are you going to pick there, Bass, while you set up your s'more?
I like to go for the obvious pick. And the obvious pick is Denny Hamlin. So I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin this time. Oh, that's a good s'more right there.
All right, yeah, you want your s'more to spooge when you place the top. Yeah, see, like that, how that spooges?
No.
All right,
food stylist.
I'm gonna skip the more obvious pick, or perhaps the safer pick of Jimmy Johnson, and I'm gonna jump to Kurt Busch because.
Oh, that's not obvious after he just swept the 2 races at Charlotte.
Yeah, but he's not as much of a favorite as Pocono as Jimmy Johnson would be. But I think he's gonna make it 3 in a row. He's on a roll. He's good at this track.
Good and good.
Do I have like?
You look okay.
I have marshmallow spooge in my beard.
That's been your Rowdy.com preview for Sunday's Gillette Fusion Pro Glide, another excellent Rowdy sponsor, 500.
We have so many.
We'll be back on Monday to talk about it. Thanks to FlameDisk for our marvelous s'mores.
You gotta love a s'more.
You know you can just extinguish this by dumping water on it, then you go off to the race.
I want some more.
You know? It's pretty simple that way.
Yeah.
Plus charcoal flavor. Did we mention that? Charcoal flavor?
Yeah, well, it's kind of s'more flavored. And thanks to
You
FlameDisk.
have got marshmallow.
Do I have
and beard.
marshmallow spooge?
Anyway.
Thanks, FlameDisk,
See
for
you
the
next time.
marshmallow
Good.
spooge.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.